All right, welcome to All Good Things and All Good Time. That's the name of my channel. Thanks for watching. This is one of like 20 kinds of content, so there's lots of different kinds of content. I haven't been producing any lately. My house burned down, my mom just passed away, and I just went through some time where I just didn't accomplish anything. No excuses really. I just failed at executing all of my goals for a couple weeks, basically. One day turned into a week, turned into 2 weeks, and so finally I'm getting this done right here. So let's start out with, as part of the Lahaina fire update and other things too. This is my podcast, my Talking Story podcast. Let's test the water. This is the ice from the ice machine melted. What? Really? Wait, no, that's not right. Yeah, 1 part per million. Amazing. Like that ice machine just totally cleans it. This is from the faucet. We've been getting 450 to 500 parts per million for the last, every time I've checked since the fire. Oh, look at that. 200, 300, 316 parts per million. So better than 508, which is what I've seen it at a few times, and 450 and 430. So the water quality is getting better. I have heard people complain that their dog got sick from the water, that they threw up from the water. So there's, yeah, anyway. And man, I bought my friend I bought a couple friends these zero waters that take it down to 0. And one of them hasn't even taken it out of the package, which is so disappointing. Anyway, you know, good intentions can only go so far. So I'm unscripted. Usually I like to try to organize things I might like to talk about, but I just decided screw it. There's so much kind of to talk about, and that's been going on, both in my experience and in my life and in the world, but also if you're following the news of the Lahaina fire survivors. I am one of them. Unlike these other people reporting about the fire, they did not lose their homes. In most cases, I have yet to see somebody who lost everything talk about what's going on. Anyway, so bunch of sort of, which has compounded my inability to accomplish anything, is or affected. I'm very affected by things, but unemployment's run out. I wasn't getting Oprah Winfrey's money, which was $1,200 a month for 6 months, but that stopped. And so if I was, that would have just stopped also. And unemployment just stopped. And what it turns out is that what was distracting me from how, you know, relatively shitty my situation is, what was distracting me was the $600, $700 a week I was getting from unemployment. That was keeping me completely distracted from my actual miserable situation, right? Because it gave me something to look forward to. I knew I'd be getting a little bit of money, which allowed me to buy groceries and pay for laundry and pay for gas and take care of my son with whatever, you know. So that stopped. So now my whole mental attitude towards money has got to completely change. The only reason I have any money is because of you, friends and strangers. No family, but friends and strangers have donated enough money for me to be secure. I know I've got at least 3-4 months of survival covered, but if I'm really sharp with my money and I do all the right things, I could stretch that a lot longer. And of course I can, I've got several ways I can make potential income from that will all allow me to retain my freedom, like driving Uber and Lyft, selling baseball, basketball, football cards. I've got literally grocery bags full of unopened baseball, basketball, and football cards that I rescued from the fire that was just happened to be right at the front door. I was starting to do what I was hoping to get completely done, which was put things I would want to save because we'd had a close call. And so it's in my mind, and I was thinking I need to start putting everything I would want to save in a fire by the front door. The only thing I had there was unopened packs of baseball, basketball, and football cards. And then I need to work harder at my channel and producing content more regularly. I've been thinking maybe what would really be good for me is the consistency of just committing myself to doing 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes every single morning, posting that as like a daily talk story, responding to the world's news possibly, or our local news, whatever. And just because I need to get some wheels spinning. You know what I mean? That's a great metaphor for stuff. You get a good wheel or a bad wheel spinning, and then all you gotta do is tap it, just like canoe paddling. It's the same mentality. Once you get your canoe moving, you just tap, 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 and it just keeps ripping. So, and they say, well, they don't say this. We believe, Plato believed, that Socrates said, an unexamined life is a life not worth living. So I have been examining my own self as best I can. And there's a lot of stuff I gotta fix. Whole lot of stuff I gotta fix. Cheers. Try not to make some weird sounds. All right. It's funny, I notice every newscaster who ever makes a mouse sound, you know, if they do this, something like that, man, do I notice it, because it's what I'm trying not to do, etc. So, yeah, so I've been examining my life. I'm basically an insomniac, although I still sleep. I just sleep during the day to catch up on sleep, which just helps me avoid. All I've been doing is avoiding the reality the last couple weeks. I haven't been like depressed, but I've been acting like a depressed person who just sleeps all the time, and I haven't been communicating with anybody for any reason. Just been whatever, you know, kind of void. But at least I'm smart enough to realize that I'm not going to get depressed. You know, I'm just going to have symptoms of it. And sleep doesn't really hurt you too bad if you don't keep doing it forever, you know. Nevertheless, and TV and video games and movies and Hulu and cable, and man, I got so many ways to be distracted. YouTube, you know. If you want to distract yourself, you can, and that's all I've been doing. So I needed to anyway. So that's my reality. And my attention. I have an attention deficit. Call it whatever you want. My kids would like to say I have a disorder, and that I have autism. But that's only because I imitate Rain Man, because I grew up in an era where everybody imitated Rain Man, and I have never stopped. So it's probably inappropriate, but I can't help myself. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. So let's talk about the Lahaina fire, finally. Man, so the governor just had this long interview where he talked about a lot of subjects, right? And then there's my story, which is like, and so that story of me running out of any sort of income, and everybody else too, right? If someone else, like, there's people who are getting no Oprah money, no help from unemployment, but then Red Cross had this other unemployment thing. So like my friend Adam got that from the Red Cross, even though he didn't qualify for the other. Anyway, it's all run out, right? And so there's this weird disparity between all the money that's changing hands, right, on our behalf, right? The hotels, and some they're getting $1,000 a day for these people. They're complaining to us about it, right? Like, okay, so all the money that's moving is moving into the hands of a few hotel owners, I guess, right? Meanwhile, they cut off our $600 a week while they complain about the $1,000 a day they have to pay at the Hyatt for people to stay there or whatever. Anyway, I can't believe nobody thought of, like, the governor, nobody, like, during the pandemic, I went on for like 18 months or something. When everyone's business burns down, that's sort of a special circumstance. It's not like all the jobs are still there. So, yeah, some people can find work. Some people are ready for it. Some people aren't. Whatever. What if we just kept unemployment going a little longer than 6 months, right? So everyone just got zeroed out. No one's got any income. No one's getting any help. If someone is, I wish I was in on that, because no one's, I mean, other than the only help I got other than unemployment, which was something I earned, was help 6 months ago, five months ago. So anyway, it's although I can't complain about, I'm getting a free place to stay. That's nice, especially here in Maui, especially here at a hotel on the beach, although it's a little confining. There is mold. It's the oldest hotel. It's no big deal. I'm not complaining. But we can't cook anything, so I'm forced to eat whatever food is provided, and so I'm trying to skip meals because it's not always super healthy, and it's a weird kind of like institutionalized living. Institutional living isn't necessarily very good for us ever, right? And so, having 3 meals a day at the same time every day, you can fall into the trap where you say to yourself, "Oh, I should not skip a meal. It's free. I should get every meal I can." Or you get on the schedule, your body gets used to 3 meals a day. At that time, they might all have white rice in them, which is sugar. Anyway, I've been gaining weight, and it's not entirely as healthy as I'd like it to be. Although, again, I'm not complaining. I'm fortunate to have a roof over my head, right? I knew at the very beginning I would end up lucky. I have been lucky. A lot of people have been bounced around from 10 different hotels. I've been at one hotel since I was at a shelter, which was its own weird experience, surrounded by people who claim to be, do-gooders who ended up not seeming like it so much. Anyway, so the governor was on TV, and and it's just frustrating because, holy shit, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars have been raised on the behalf of